Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Why is Money Making Mitch happy today when the stock was down yesterday? What did Money Making Mitch do on a day like that? Well, whilst a lot of the sheep was running for the hill and the shorts were pooping in their pants, not because of the share price, they were pooping because they see what we're doing. They see the amount of deliveries we're putting out. They see the Lion Envoy is coming out. They see the European expansion is inevitable, just to name a few things. This is why when I see these things and saw the share price drop yesterday, guess what I did, guys? I had a Chinese company called Costco, C-O-S-C-O. That was the ticker symbol. And I spoke about them a while back when they were like around $5. That's when I bought them. They are the fourth largest shipping company in the world. Well, they were up to like $8 something. I made over 100% profit on it. I walked away with $1,300, something like that. I sold all of it, even though they pay a high dividend. I walked away in total with whatever I put in, like 2,600, something like that. And I bought more shares of NEO yesterday whilst the majority was pooping in their pants. And I bought another 30 shares apart from that with my own capital, with my own money, bringing me up now to 9,800 shares of NEO. Booyaka! Like my Jamaican brothers would say, shot fired. But why did I do that? Well, I just explained it to you. I am looking what the company is doing, and I understand that we are going to be a behemoth that dominates the landscape, while others look at the share price. Oh my God, the share went down again. Money Making Mitch is speaking, and the share went. They are pooping in their pants. So I would like to thank Money Making Melvin yet again for this beautiful article that will give you confidence into why you need to keep buying the dips and these ridiculously low price. But before we do that, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. These videos take a lot of time. The editing, the whole organization of these videos. So please don't forget. But before we get into the video, take a look at this clip and then we shall continue.
A man got an unexpected sky-high bill for a hybrid battery replacement. He contacted On Your Side for help.
Yeah, his car was just out of the 8-year warranty period. So Susan joining us here this morning with what you need to know before you buy a used hybrid electric car. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, so there is a potential for really costly repairs if you have one of these vehicles. Batteries are really expensive to replace. So before you buy, get the battery checked and price out a replacement so you know what it could cost if your warranty runs out.
When the check engine light went on, Lucas Turner knew he had a problem, but it was worse than he thought.
Oh, I almost cried.
The dealership's diagnosis for his 2014 Infiniti Hybrid with less than 70,000 miles on it was unexpected.
They called me and said, "Oh, I got bad news, Mr. Turner. You need a new hybrid battery, and it's going to cost $18,000 for the battery and another $2,000 to have it installed." And I'm like, oh my God, my jaw dropped.
Here's the bill.
$20,744.90 for a new hybrid battery.
Lucas bought the car about 3 years ago for $16,000.
All right, guys, that clip was to help prepare you and remind you of why we believe in this future behemoth, why we invest based on future projection, why the Pupavosians, the Tatavosians, the three-star analysts are telling you there's no such thing as future projections. Wait till it becomes profitable. So that just shows you how much it costs. Even if the hybrid battery is done, you can still run the car, the hybrid, without that battery. But what's the point of it? So this article is from Harvard Business Review. How one Chinese EV company made battery swapping work. Harvard Review. Range anxiety. Remember we spoke about this, my dear lads. The main reason why a lot of the EV adoption is very slow in America. the grid can't handle it, and range anxiety. Whenever I speak to someone about NIO, and they say to me, oh, but where can we get this? Sadly, genocidal Josephine won't let you have it yet. So range anxiety has been one of the most significant barriers for electric vehicles adoption amongst consumers. For example, if I wanted to drive a Tesla Model 3 from Paris to famous Mount St. Mitchell, which is roughly 360 kilometers, 220 miles away, I would need to carefully plan my route and stop at one of Tesla's supercharging stations near Paris before heading east, as there are simply no other supercharger stations along the way. Infrastructure. Oh, excuse me, guys. This is why in China we don't have that problem. And when we get into Europe, they would not have that problem. Despite the EV sales drop across the world except China, and Australia, we saw that, and Norway, increased EV adoption is still one of the most important options of energy transition to combat global warming. How can EV companies address consumers' range anxiety to allow for a better travel experience and further fuel sales? How can they do that? It's impossible, right? Wrong. It is not impossible. There's a company called NIO. The future alien technology that is here. One direction is to improve battery technology. And we are doing that with the semi-solid state. And we're working with CATL and BYD and others to form a conglomerate, including faster charging batteries and those with longer driving range. And we're doing that. But what's the problem with supercharging a battery, guys? What's that? Battery degradation. Like we see with that video, that clip I just put out, where that guy has to spend more than what the car is worth to replace the battery. This is where battery as a service comes in. This is what gives Money Making Mitch the confidence to realize, understand, and know that I am on the right path. As 2023 long-range batteries can push north of 350 miles, NIO, on a single charge, and fast charging technology can add more than 100 miles to a battery within 15 minutes. However, the push to improve battery technology is both expensive and slow. So these semi-solid batteries are expensive, and that's why NIO says, yeah, you can rent them, you don't have to own them, son. Recently, the Chinese EV company NIO challenged the conventional approach with an interesting alternative: battery swapping. Here's how they did it. In 2014, a series entrepreneur in the auto industry called William Li established NIO as a Chinese domestic brand to challenge Tesla in the higher-end sports car segment. Not long after that, Tesla opened a battery swap demonstration station at Harris Ranch in California. Yes, they did. Starting its exploration in battery swapping, but the site received little to no demand and Tesla closed it down in less than a year. And I spoke about that here. Why did they have to close it down? Because they think like a Westerner, not like an Easterner. Emperor Lee said, here, try it out. And then they were hooked. They understood when their counterparts were fighting for chargers, with their fingers freezing, the ladies' hands getting dirty. NIO said, try this out. You don't even have to come out the car when it's freezing cold or very hot and humid. Unlike Tesla, NIO did not give up on battery swapping. Over the next 8 years, it experimented with and expanded the battery swapping approach across China and Europe. By November 2023, NIO owned and operated more than 2,300 battery swapping stations globally, including 30 in Europe. And we saw that figure has went up again, right? We're over 2,400. And it's going to ramp up from next month. The battery swapping concept is new. There was an Israeli company that tried it. It didn't work out for them. We also saw Ample is trying it with that cheap plastic looking knockoff thing that's not going to work. What NIO managed to do differently was to invest in creating a seamless experience. I love that word. A seamless experience where you don't even have to come out of the car. You don't even have to back the car in. You can drive straight in. And all the stations, a robot will back it in for you. Yes, we are Star Trek Generation 4. Appealing to customers. When a driver enters their automated station, the station will connect directly to the vehicle, drive and park it at the platform, have the depleted battery be dropped out from the bottom of the vehicle, and replace it with a fully charged battery while charging the user's account, all within 3 minutes. How many, guys? Faster than you can blink your blasted eyes. Faster than you can fill your gas tank. The driver doesn't even need to control or step out of the car. So for the ladies who have a little problem backing into the station, no worries, we got you. Since launching its first commercial SUV called the NIO ES8, NIO has differentiated itself from other EV makers by offering a battery subscription model. For its electric vehicle, the French automaker Renault used to have battery rental services as a revenue model. It provided a good piece of evidence that consumers are open to such models in order to reduce upfront payment, and that rental helps with adoption. You see? So for people, especially here in America where the economy is being devastated and destroyed, a lot of people can't afford that price. But if we say to you, don't worry, we'll cut the car down by 10,000, 15,000 and you rent the battery for $30 a month, it makes sense. No oil change. Don't have to pay for gas. For NIO vehicle owners, they can choose from different tiers of subscription services and lease batteries based on their expected usage. Has many advantages for consumers. First, NIO users enjoy the reduced risk of owning a default battery and a lower price of the initial purchase, because the battery pack accounts for nearly one-third of the cost of owning an EV. Second, there is guaranteed battery quality as the batteries are regularly inspected and maintained. Now remember, we talk about it, we're the only company that can do that seamlessly and quickly. Check the health of the battery so there's no fires. Third, users purchasing NIO battery subscription get to upgrade to the latest generation of the technology and worry nothing about the end of life hassles. This business model innovation does not only accelerate adoption of the new technology, but also help address some key bottlenecks of the new industry. While Western companies often focus primarily on technological innovations, Chinese EV firms, including NIO, keep consumers' needs at the center of their strategy to create a competitive edge amongst fierce domestic competitors. These lessons could be valuable as incumbent firms explore new strategy directions. So NIO is not only keeping up with research and development and the most technological advanced EVs in the world, which we have, but we're looking at what the customer love. Looking at the algorithms. Do they like the speed? Okay, we have that for you. Do you just want long range and luxury and comfort? We have that for you. Do you live in an area with a lot of hills? We'll provide an EV to facilitate you. To establish its battery swapping station network, NIO examined the needs of its users and asked one essential question: what are the heaviest use cases for battery swap? They found that users want battery swapping when long hours of intensive driving exacerbate range anxiety, or when spending a long time charging is simply not practical. As a result, the company built stations in major highways and densely populated metropolitan locations. And I remember, and I said this before, one day I met this young African-American brother, and he said to me, I asked him, knowing what he would say, I said, young man, how long does it take to charge? He said, like half hour. And you should see the look on his face. I said, my God. He said, tell me about it, man. You see? In 2023, China reported a 26% EV share of the country's total auto sales, yet such volume charging needs are hardly fulfilled. A residential building with 30 to 50 floors in China, big cities may only have a handful of charging stations, and this is where Envoy is going to come in. Because where the other EV companies like BYD, XPeng, whoever, Chery, SAIC, they cannot sell to these customers because these customers have no place to charge. The Lion Ladao is coming for them at an affordable price. Booyaka! The situation is worse for independent drivers offering taxi or ride-sharing services, like we see here in America, where all the Uber drivers are taking back their cars to Hertz, and Hertz is on the tattering on the borderline of bankruptcy because of the horrific decision to go with rat poop, dog poop, cat poop, bat poop, guanu, Tesla. There wasn't. Who's going to wait? You're running a taxi service, man. You think the passenger is going to say, oh yeah, I'll let you wait 20 minutes. No, sir, not me. I will cuss him out and get out the car. Taxi companies may have financial power to rotate their fleet, but independent drivers would have to stop and charge for an hour or more during the day. And this article goes on and on. But I just wanted to give you guys the gist of it, and you can find the whole article on Environmental Sustainability Harvard Business Review. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, motivation, and to continue to remind you of why we hold this behemoth and keep buying the dips like Money Making Mitch is doing. 9,800 shares and counting, and I'm going to get up to my 10,000 shares. If so, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a piece of the pie and waking them up to the game. And like 50 said, in this channel, we get rich or we die trying, guys.